What's up everybody, it's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech. I'm here right now in Beverly Hills, California on the rooftop of the building where I work. And today I want to talk about patience in your development as a marching percussionist. Now, I saw something on Reddit, about somebody who was like, they were on mallets or the front ensemble for the first time, and they're not really like suited for that instrument because maybe they don't have experience, and they're good with rhythms and things like that, but that wasn't really the thing they were looking forward to. And then they were put on there and then they had no proficiency whatsoever. So this individual was probably really young, maybe he's like a freshman or 8th grade or something like that, and he's really frustrated by the fact that he can't learn his parts fast enough, right? So he might be able to play something, and then for long stretches he doesn't play his music because he doesn't know how to break it down, he doesn't know how to play it, and it looks like he doesn't have enough help in terms of learning it and figuring it out. So he's extremely frustrated with his lack of progress and the fact that he's sitting there and he's not playing anything for long stretches. Now, I completely understand this feeling. I completely understand it, especially from a perspective of as an instructor. And I see students all the time who, were put in an instrument where maybe they're not prepared to execute it at a high level, or they're just at a very beginning level, and there are long stretches where they struggle, right? Either struggle with the material and just in terms of playing it, or they struggle with they can't even play anything at all. They'll sit there in a tacit, right? Sit there and not play anything because they just can't play the part, okay? Now, I understand that, and I understand that frustration, and it can be very sad and depressing for that individual because they're sitting there, everybody's playing their parts, and then they have parts that they clearly have to play, but they're not even playing it because they can't do it at all, right? So my solution to that is that you can't be too hard on yourself in those situations, because at the end of the day, it takes so much time to reach a high level of proficiency. So in Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, he basically clocked mastery at basically 10,000 hours, okay? So what he's saying is it takes 10,000 hours to reach the level of mastery in anything, right? So you're talking about the Michael Jordans, the Beatles, whoever you think of that's really good, they had to put in at least 10,000 hours to get at that master level. Now let's put this in perspective so you can understand how many hours 10,000 hours actually is. So if you practice 3 hours a day, every single day, it'll basically take you 3,000 days. Now, if you break that down, right, let's say you want to be half a master, okay? Well, now it takes 1,500 days, okay? So now you want to get quarter of a master. That's going to take you 750 days, right? So of 3 hours a day every single day. So you see how long it takes just to even get a fraction, all right, of being a master. So for you to be proficient in anything, it's just gonna take time. It's not something you're gonna get overnight. And the thing is, most people's frustrations revolve around the fact that they want to get something now, today, without any experience at all, and just basically it's a very pompous and arrogant thing to say that I'm just gonna get this right now. That's not realistic at all. Maybe there are some people out there who can get things really quickly, but for the most part, for people like me, right, it's gonna take me a while to get something at a fairly decent, proficient level. No matter what it is I'm learning, no matter what it is I'm doing, okay? So for me to get good at drums, it took me several thousands of hours to get to where I am today. For freshmen to come in and have very little experience, freshmen, 8th grade or whatever, have very little experience, and maybe in an instrument they're not familiar with, to all of a sudden be somewhat proficient to play their parts in a very short amount of time, let's say after a band camp or after a few rehearsals, is completely unreasonable. Do you see how unreasonable that is, right? Just in terms of how many hours it takes to get good at something. Now, of course, we do have pressures to perform and make stuff happen. I get that, and that is what's going to push us to accelerate that process as fast as possible. I get that, I understand that, and that can be very effective in terms of pushing somebody to produce, because it's we gotta get this down, we gotta be competitive, we gotta have the opener done by such and such date, we gotta have the whole show done by such and such date, and you have to be able to play all your parts by such and such date. Those kinds of pressures can definitely push us to increase our production level to get at a higher proficiency at a faster rate. But for the most part, like I said, it's still gonna take time. That's still not something that's gonna happen overnight, right? So that's something that people have to understand, and you have to get over that sadness of, oh, like I don't have this part down yet, boo-hoo. And that's the other thing too, right? Like feeling sorry for yourself. Like sitting there like, I can't play a part, boo. And then you put your head down and you're like sitting there like you're not playing your parts. And I've seen that from former students, you know, when I was teaching. Guys, don't ever fall into that trap. If you've done that, or if you know people who are like that, people need to get out of that mentality immediately. Here is the mindset I suggest instead of, oh, woe is me, I don't have the part, okay? What you need to do is focus on what you do have, what you are able to do. If you can play one frickin' bar out of an entire chart on an instrument that you have barely any proficiency in, that's a fucking win, right? So that's a win. Celebrate, be happy about that, be proud about that, okay? Now, of course, you want to be able to play the whole thing. So if you can play that one bar and you're super happy about that, you're super proud about that, learn the next damn bar, all right? So be determined. Like, I'm not saying sit there and be like, yeah, I can only play one bar and then be happy with that and not do anything after that. What I'm saying is, cool, you got one bar down, now learn the next bar, okay? Now, instead of feeling sorry for yourself that you, out of one bar, I don't know, 100 bars, you can only play one, well, now you gotta focus on learning don't sit there and be like, oh, I got 99 bars that I can't play. You gotta sit there and be like, okay, how can I learn the next bar, right? And instead of sitting there and sulking and like not playing anything, even during a run, do something, right? Pick up the music and start hacking through your parts. Maybe do it quietly, maybe do it on the butt ends of your sticks, or if you're in front ensemble, butt end of the mallets, where it's not as loud. Do that and be productive, even though you're sitting there and apparently not doing anything, right? It's better than sitting there and completely not doing anything and feeling sorry for yourself. What you need to do is be determined to figure out how to make this happen, how to learn the parts, how to ask questions of your instructors to learn something, how to, basically think outside of the box and hack your way to getting good. Does that make sense, right? Like, you can't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. You have to figure out how to get these parts learned. Even if it's something like, you learn it really slow and then you learn it very methodically and you only learn one count at a time, whatever it takes, make that happen. Just take a step, one step every single day. It's gonna add up a lot. As long as you don't have unrealistic expectations of yourself, you're gonna get a lot of progress and you're gonna gain a lot of proficiency, all right? So like I said, I mean, going back to the example of learning something, in rehearsal, even though you're doing a run through the whole group, I mean, crap, you could sit there and not do anything, or you could sit there and quietly just try to learn your part. It's rehearsal, it's not a performance. Nobody's sitting there and what is that kid doing? Are they trying to learn parts? Nobody's gonna do that. At least you're doing something, right? Maybe your instructors will even be happy to have you step outside and learn parts so you're not disrupting the rest of the rehearsal. Whatever it takes, figure out a way to make it happen so that you can make progress every single day. Don't sit there and focus on what you don't have learned or where you're not good at. Focus on what you are good at and what you can actually play. Does that make sense, right? Look at this city here, Beverly Hills, right? There's all these buildings, and it's not like somebody came up with the money to build these buildings overnight, right? People had to take the time to learn how to make money, how to invest, how to, get investors to come in with them because they don't have enough money, right, to build these buildings. That shit takes time, right? It's not something that happens overnight. So, but at the end of the day, people did it. It's here. The evidence is there of people building something, but at the same time taking time, to make it happen. But but again, these buildings are just not, they didn't just pop up out of the ground overnight. It took time for people to make enough money to make it happen, and then to actually build these buildings also took time, right? So that's the thing. You can't be impatient. You can't be unhappy about whatever progress that you don't have. You can't compare yourself to other people. You can't compare your building to other buildings that are taller than yours. The fact that you have a building at all is pretty freaking sweet. It's pretty freaking dope. So if you can play one bar out of 99, most people can't even play music. Right? So you can do something more than the average people can do. Do you see the mindset shift here? Do you see the paradigm shift I'm trying to get you in? It's there's so much depression going on in band, it's ridiculous. I see these things and people are sad and but this is band. You're supposed to be having fun. Have fun in drumline, have fun drumming, have fun playing, blowing your horn. Have fun spinning your color guard flags. This is supposed to be a fun thing. not supposed to be depressed, not supposed to be sad. So have fun, be happy, be proud about what you can do, and be super determined to figure out what you don't know how to do. All right, so that's my advice for you today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of it. All right, the takeaway message here is be happy what you can do, but be determined, right, to do more than what you can do. All right, so if you guys like this video, and if you watch this far, I'm sure you like this video. So do me a huge favor and hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments below. If you think somebody you know could benefit from this information, this advice that I just gave, this knowledge that I just dropped, share this video with them. Share this on your social media. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing, lurker? Subscribe, all right? So hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. And you can watch all these videos that I have and know when they come out. And you know, who knows? Maybe a video that you're asking for, you know, I cover it and it comes out. You want to know when it comes out, so you'll know that when you have subscribed. All right, so cool. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next video, and catch you later. Signing off from Beverly Hills, California. Look at all these beautiful buildings. Didn't happen overnight.